Welcome to the warm-up exercise for the YMI podcast called The Fantasy Restaurant. In here, my guests get to pick their favorite drink, appetizer, main side, and dessert, and quite literally, anything goes. So Jimmy is a meat and potatoes kind of guy, and while his menu isn't exotic, it's a good choice any day of the week. So I hope you enjoy this meal with Jimmy. Jimmy, thank you for joining me in the Fantasy Restaurant this morning.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. All right. So this, it's unlike any restaurant you've ever been to. I'm assuming. I don't know. I don't want to presume that you haven't.
I've been around. I've been around
to some amazing stuff. But here I am, Greg. I'm going to be your waiter today.
Thank you, Greg.
In this restaurant, this meal consists of anything you want it to be, right? This could be stuff that your mom used to make when you were a kid, your grandma. This could be stuff out of your kitchen yourself, something you make yourself. This could be out of your favorite movie, your fantasy novel. There has to be no rhyme or reason. It's just whatever you're feeling in the moment. So
I dig it. Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Well, let's start the start, man. What are you gonna have to drink?
I'm drinking coffee right now, so I'll have a refresher.
Over coffee. Are we talking black coffee? You talking espresso, a cappuccino?
I take regular coffee. I take a regular coffee with a little bit of milk and a Splenda. It's my typical.
Milk and a Splenda.
Yeah.
All right, that's easy. Do you want to go like a water, the tap water, sparkling water, bottled water?
Sparkling. A bottle of sparkling, please.
You like some bubbles, huh?
I do. Everything.
The bubbles, I don't know. Like, to me, sparkling water just tastes like a soda that they forgot to put the flavor in. That kind of freaks me out.
It's because I want to drink soda, but it's too sugary, so I will drink that instead. And that's why I like seltzer or sparkling water. Because I like soda, but I resist it because it's bad for you.
Yeah, it's bad for me. But, everybody's got to have a vice, they say, right?
Yeah. And I have a few, but none of the drug and alcohol. I'm drug and alcohol free, by the way.
All right, good. Yeah, me too, man.
Yeah, I don't smoke, but I drink coffee like crazy, and occasionally I drink regular soda, which is not good.
Do you? Man, caffeine just does not agree with me. Like, I'll drink a little bit of caffeine and I'll see the future. Like, I can't.
I wish I could see the future. I've got a high tolerance at this point because I drink it so much.
Gotcha. All right, well, we got your drink sorted. So we're going to move on to probably my favorite part of the meal. I like to call it the appetizer portion, right? It's where I tend to get a little bit more adventurous, right? Small portions. So what are you going to do for your appetizer?
Let's see. I tend to like I like French fries. And if you go to like a shit kicker restaurant, like French fries with like some other shit on it, like bacon or some other stuff like that, that kind of stuff is good. Like I said, I'm not the healthiest guy and all.
I'm not either. You know what?
I'm just trying to think what else would I like if I saw like chicken tenders is good. It's funny, my girlfriend and I she tends to want to go to these fancy restaurants, and she knows that I'm just a sort of a shit kicker guy that's not really impressed by that stuff. And we met her friends recently at this fancy restaurant here in upstate New York. This is the worst restaurant experience I've ever had. And I said that flat out to the three of them. I said, this is the worst restaurant experience I've ever had. I said, it's no big deal. I don't care. I'll just go get pizza later when I go home. But for the amount of money they probably charge, because they hosted and paid for us. I said, for the amount of money and the arrogance of the wait staff and the arrogance of just the room and the unbelievably eccentricity of the food for no apparent reason other than just to be different. I said, everything sucked. Just in case you want to, do your own Google reviews. That's my opinion.
Gotcha. So just
I keep it simple.
I'm assuming, just like simple, fair, standard. Yeah. But you know what? You were talking about chicken tenders, dude. That's always dangerous for me because I'm going to fill up. If I get something like that, I'm going to fill up in the appetizer.
What is that? People talk about this filling up. What does that mean? I never quite understood what people say when they're full.
Oh, I power through. Don't get me wrong. Somebody asked me, "Hey, are you hungry?" And my answer to that is always, "I could eat." Yeah, I don't necessarily have to be hungry. I could always eat. I'm always ready to go, man.
100%.
All right. So we got your appetizer sorted. Now hits this weird period between the appetizer and the food. I like to call it the bread / soup / salad portion.
All the bread.
All right. Well, what kind of bread?
Like a sourdough, warm, preferably. Don't give me something you took out of a wire bin in the basement that's been there for a week.
Sourdough.
I used to work at a florist, and we shared a basement with the restaurant next door. And smack dab in the middle of the basement, so rats couldn't get at it, was a big wire bin of bread up on these, like, it might have been hanging from a chain in the ceiling. And that was the bread for the restaurant. You'd see the waiters walk through and just grab the bread, and when the very bottom, which was hard and crumbly, turned into breadcrumbs and added as for the food, and the top soft stuff was taken and baked for the patrons and given at the beginning of their meal. So that's the respect that bread gets in most restaurants, or at least in that one.
That's a sadness, man. That is a sadness. But it's probably true, right? It's like they don't have time to just always be baking bread. That makes sense. But to me, the best sourdough is a nice, crispy exterior. It's really fluffy and soft inside.
I can dig it.
All right, man. Are you doing bread or not bread? Are you doing butter with this? You doing like a salted butter, room temperature? What are you looking at?
Yeah. Like a soft salted butter would do fine.
I like it when it's like room temperature, so it just spreads perfectly, man. That's it for me.
100%.
All right. It's room temp. All right. So we got that out of the way. We're going to move on to, did you ever see the movie Fatso? This is a movie from when I was a child. I'm 57 years old. No, I have not seen that.
Fatso with Dom DeLuise is an amazing movie, and one of the best scenes of all time, which I occasionally go back to, is he gets visited by his members of Overeaters Anonymous, which at the time they made it a joke. Now it wouldn't be considered a joke. But the three of him and his two, I guess you might say, sponsors from Overeaters Anonymous sit around and discuss the food that they like to eat, like we're doing now. And then all of a sudden it turns into like they're at it bursts into them cooking in the kitchen and making pasta and overeating it. They had a really big relapse. But it all started with them discussing like, yeah, I like the butter really soft. All this, it's one of the funniest scenes in a 70s movie ever.
They say details matter, man.
Wouldn't fly today, but it's a funny shit.
Right, couldn't get away with it. That's just like, there's a lot of movies from kind of that era, that I'm assuming would not be able to be remade today.
Mm-mm.
But are classics for sure. All right, man. So we're hitting the mains, which I'm not sure if this is like your go-to, your favorite part, but a lot of people seem to be enamored with it. So what are you getting for your main dish?
I like, I'm just making sure. Okay. I thought I lost my credit cards. I found them. I just went on a trip and I only take 2 credit cards that I use, but my other ones sit at my desk and I'm looking around going, they're not where I thought they were. But besides that, I like a chicken parmesan is a good simple dish. A burger. Me and Rachel were discussing this the other day, how you have these fancy pants restaurants and they never have a rescue meal for the normal average animal like me that wants just a hamburger. You got to decide between braised lamb and sauteed vegetables, which both suck. A burger is always a good out. Burger, spaghetti and meatballs, or a bolognese, any type of ziti or pasta bolognese is always really good. Like I said, I'm not that complicated.
All right. Well, you've got 3 main dishes there. You gotta pick one.
I'll do the chicken parm.
Chicken parm
with the ziti on the side. Yeah.
Ziti on the side. So, is this like Olive Garden where they're shaving parm on top?
That's fine with me. I like Olive Garden. I know everyone says it's a joke. I mean, I'm half Italian, but I'm also half Irish, so Olive Garden's perfect.
I'm not mad at it, man. Like when you want it, you want it, and I can't say that I didn't eat it 2 days ago because I did. As long
as it's not frozen in the middle, I don't care. I can always heat it up again.
Simple guys, simple taste. All right, well, what do you pair? Like, what's your side dish with a chicken parm?
I'm not sure.
You gonna pretend to be healthy and put a vegetable on this thing, or what?
No, no vegetables in my area. Vegetables aren't allowed on the table. I just cannot bring myself to eat vegetables. It's funny. We just traveled to Sweden, and on the airplane, they brought us, do you want the chicken or lasagna? And I was like, oh, I'll take the lasagna. And they put the lasagna down, and I pull the tin back, and it's like sheets of pasta that usually are used in lasagna, and the rest of it is broccoli and spinach mixed with cheese. And I just said, you should have told me that this was a fucking broccoli dish and not a lasagna. I put the tin back and I closed it because I can't stand the smell of broccoli, especially when it's cooked. It was It was a travesty of justice that she said, I want to sue the airlines because they called that lasagna.
Yeah, vegetable lasagna.
Yeah, she left that part out.
Yeah. That's a sadness. All right.
Sure.
So apparently we're doing no sides with this because,
no vegetables.
No vegetables allowed. All right.
Mashed potato.
Mashed potatoes. That feels vegetable adjacent.
Yeah, that's close enough. I'm going to mute so I can blow my nose.
Okay. So what are you going to do for dessert on this interesting meal of yours?
A cheesecake. And sometimes they have flavored cheesecakes, but a regular cheesecake will do. A cheesecake or any kind of chocolate mousse, something like that would be good.
Okay. Well, if you're getting a cheesecake, where's your go-to? Like, do you have a favorite spot?
Well, the New York cheesecake, from Junior's restaurant in Brooklyn was always really good. We'd go there. I don't live in the Lower East Side, obviously, anymore. But when I lived in the Lower East Side, occasionally I'd scoot about 2 miles over to Junior's Diner in Brooklyn, over the bridge, and get the cheesecake. It's famous cheesecake. Like, for instance, on a holiday weekend, there's a line of people waiting for the holiday cheesecake. So they want to get it to go for their own personal holiday dinners. That would be a good spot.
All right, that sounds good. Well, I mean, normally after the dessert, I ask people if they want to close it out with coffee, but you started it with coffee. Are you going to
always? Yeah,
you're going to bookend it as well?
Yeah, always at a coffee to chill.
All right. The same thing?
I smoke an imaginary cigarette at the table. I used to smoke. I stopped smoking when I'm 57, so I stopped smoking when I was like maybe 30, 28, 9, 30, somewhere around there.
Damn, pretty good bit ago.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's good. It's I hear that's healthy for you. I mean, if you can't eat a vegetable, at least you can quit smoking, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. All right. Well, let me read back your order just so I can make sure I don't screw it up. Because
oh boy,
honestly, I don't like it when the kitchen gets blamed for my mistakes here. So let's make sure I don't screw anything up. So we're gonna do sparkling water. I forgot to ask you. You want that chilled? Do you want the ice in that? How do you want that? Cold. All right. I don't want to put ice because I don't want to water it down. Right there, you go.
The painter, or Mike the.
We're gonna do coffee with Splenda. Then we're gonna have French fries with bacon. I'm assuming you want cheese on that too. Do you want basically like a baked potato but French fry style? So just like
sure.
All right, man. We'll have all the fixings then, and then some chicken tenders. You never said what kind of sauces you want. Ranch? You want buffalo sauce? What do you want with that?
Oh, buffalo sauce would be good.
Yeah, man. I like having both. I'm gonna bring you both. I don't care if you want it or not. You're getting both. We're putting that on there, and then we're doing a sourdough, good crust. Nice fluffy middle, salted room temperature butter. Then we're going chicken parm with some ziti on the side. I guess the ziti, we'll pretend like that's your side dish. Why not?
Sounds good.
And then some mashed potatoes. Are we doing the mashed potatoes where you like mix in the cream cheese so they get like really like fluffy?
That sounds good.
All right, man.
Never actually heard of that.
Yeah, dude. Cream cheese and butter. You mix that in there. It's a game changer. I mean, it's not for the faint of heart, obviously, but or the weak of artery, I suppose. Then we're gonna do a slice of cheesecake from Junior's. Do you put anything with that? You do like the raspberry sauce, the strawberry sauce, fruit?
No, straight up is fine.
Just a straight up cheesecake, and then you're gonna pair that with your cup of coffee with milk and Splenda.
You got it.
All right, man. Well,
I'll take that to go.
I get it. You're a busy man. All right. Well, Jimmy, thank you for joining me in the fancy restaurant today.
You're very welcome.